Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a question. How many of you feel like there's never enough time in a day? Hands up. Now here's the crazy truth. Every single human being on this planet has exactly the same 24 hours. Not 25, not 26, just 24. The richest people, the poorest people, the smartest people, the people who still can't figure out how to boil an egg. 24 hours. Yet some people achieve more in these 24 hours than others do in a lifetime. Why is that? Let me tell you a story. There was a young man, we'll call him Ali. Ali loved to sleep. Not a little sleep, I mean the kind of sleep where his alarm clock was just a decoration on his nightstand. He would wake up at 11 a.m., scroll social media while eating breakfast, or should I say brunch. By 3 p.m., he was tired again, and at 8 p.m., he told himself, okay, tonight I will work on my dreams. But Netflix had already scheduled a full meeting with him. 10 years later, Ali was still doing the same thing. And do you know what Omar, his friend, was doing during those same 24 hours? Waking up at 5 a.m., running for 30 minutes, learning something new for an hour, planning his day, and then working on his goals. Ali and Omar had the same 24 hours, but the results were completely different. Funny, isn't it? 1 hour of intentional action a day can beat 10 hours of distracted, lazy effort. Now, I can hear some of you saying, but I'm not a morning person. Well, neither was I. In fact, my brain hated mornings so much that it staged a daily protest every time the alarm rang. I would lie there thinking, do I really need to get up today? Can't I just invent success in my dreams? Spoiler alert, dreams don't pay bills, dreams don't make you grow, dreams don't even give you Wi-Fi. So, we have to wake up, or at least wake up our awareness about time. Here's the first secret. Managing your 24 hours starts with noticing where your time actually goes. I want you to be brutally honest. Take one day and write down everything you do, from the moment you wake up until you sleep. Don't cheat yourself. Watching one video on YouTube? Write it down. Spending 20 minutes deciding what to eat? Write it down. Talking to your cousin about the latest scandal in your neighborhood? Write it down. You will be shocked. Shocked. Because once you see how many hours are slipping through your fingers like water, you'll understand why most people never reach their potential. And don't worry, this isn't about judgment, it's about truth. And truth is sometimes funny, very, very funny. Because we all think we're busy. But when you write it down, sometimes we realize we spent more time choosing a Netflix show than we did on our actual dreams. Let's get even more relatable. How many of you have opened Instagram to check one thing, and then suddenly it's 2 hours later and you're watching a cat play the piano? Or maybe you went to check an important email and ended up watching a conspiracy theory about why pizza tastes better on Fridays. We have all been there, and I'm not blaming you. I've been there myself. But that's exactly the problem. Those little moments add up. And the person who masters these little moments, that's the person who turns 24 hours into a superpower. Another important thing, energy matters more than time. You can schedule every hour of your day perfectly. But if you spend your day tired, stressed, or distracted, nothing will get done. This is why you need to take care of your body and mind. Eat well, sleep well, exercise, even just a little. People think success is only about working harder, but sometimes it's about working smarter. If you spend 12 hours working while exhausted, you'll probably get less done than someone who works 6 hours focused and energized. Think about it. Which would you rather be, busy or effective? And here's a funny truth. Life will always try to steal your time. Your phone, social media, useless meetings, people asking for favors, your neighbor's cat, yes, the cat too. But here's the good news. You can decide who or what gets your time. You have 24 hours. That's it. You can't buy more. You can't borrow more. You can't cheat more. But you can decide how you spend them. Treat your hours like money. Would you spend $100 on something useless? No. Then why spend your hours on something useless? Ladies and gentlemen, your 24 hours are your greatest asset. Most people treat them like a disposable cup. They just throw them away without thinking. But the most successful people treat their 24 hours like gold. Every hour matters, every minute counts. Even the small, seemingly meaningless moments. If you learn to master this, you will master your life. Today, you might feel like 24 hours is not enough. But the truth is, it's more than enough if you know how to use it. Your 24 hours can be your best friend or your worst enemy. And it starts with awareness. You cannot manage what you do not measure. So be honest with yourself, see where your time goes, and start thinking about which hours are wasted and which hours are invested in your future. That's where the magic begins. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get real. Awareness is one thing, but awareness alone doesn't pay the bills or grow your dreams. You need habits. Habits are like little soldiers working for you while you sleep. Yes, even while you're sleeping. Imagine if your toothbrush could also teach you a new skill while you brushed. That's what good habits do for your life. Let me tell you about my friend Sarah. Sarah was overwhelmed with work, school, and life in general. She felt like she had no time. But she decided to start one tiny habit. Every morning, she would write down 3 things she wanted to achieve that day. That's it. 3 things. Nothing complicated. The first week she felt silly. Is this really going to help, she thought. But by the second week, something magical happened. She started finishing her tasks faster, wasting less time, and even found herself laughing more at silly mistakes because she was actually on track. That's the power of a tiny habit. Now here's something funny and very relatable. How many of you have tried to wake up early and be productive and then hit snooze 3 times only to finally wake up in panic, spill coffee on your shirt, and run out like a cartoon character? Yes, we've all done it. That's why habits have to be realistic. You don't start by waking up at 4 a.m. to meditate for 2 hours if you usually wake up at 11. You start small. Maybe 10 minutes of meditation, maybe reading 1 page of a book, or maybe just deciding not to check your phone for the first 30 minutes. Small habits build momentum. And here's a secret. Your energy follows your environment. If your surroundings are chaotic, your brain will be chaotic. Ever notice how when your desk is messy, you procrastinate more? Or when your room smells like last week's takeout, you suddenly feel unmotivated? Our brain is weird like that. It responds to signals. So part of managing your 24 hours is managing your space. A clean, organized, inspiring space can make you 10 times more productive. And yes, it's okay if your dog thinks your desk is their bed. Just work around it. Another thing I want to talk about, the myth of multitasking. People love saying, I can do 10 things at once. But here's the truth. Multitasking is like trying to eat spaghetti while riding a roller coaster. You might get some noodles in your mouth, but most of it ends up on the floor, or your shirt, or both. Focus matters. When you dedicate 1 block of time to one task and do it fully, you will get more done in less time. That's why some of the most successful people schedule their day in blocks. 1 hour for emails, 1 hour for learning, 1 hour for creating something meaningful, and no distractions. That means no phone, no notifications, no drama, just you and your work. Just you and your work. Now let's get funny again. You know those people who say, I'm too busy to exercise. I have a better idea. They're too busy to be healthy. I once met a man who spent 6 hours a day complaining about how tired he was. He was so busy being tired, he forgot to move his legs. 6 hours, that's like a full Netflix season. Meanwhile, 30 minutes of walking or stretching could have given him more energy than all his complaining combined. True story. Our bodies are engines, not storage units. If you don't fuel them properly, you'll stall. And no one wants to stall when success is waiting for them. Let's talk about planning. Funny thing, people spend hours planning vacations, but not planning their day. If you treat your 24 hours like a vacation, where you're the star, your dreams are the destination, and your habits are your luggage, suddenly life becomes much more enjoyable. And planning doesn't have to be complicated. Write down your top 3 priorities and focus on those. Everything else, optional. Yes, even that 45-minute argument with your neighbor about who left the trash out. And finally, let's laugh at one of the biggest time thieves, perfectionism. How many of you wait for the perfect time, the perfect conditions, the perfect mood, only to realize the day is over? That's like waiting for a unicorn to bring you coffee. Stop waiting. Start small. Start now. Even 1 hour of imperfect action beats 0 hours of perfect planning. Success doesn't come from waiting, it comes from moving. Ladies and gentlemen, habits, focus, energy, planning, and action. They are the true rulers of your 24 hours. Not your boss, not your phone, not even your neighbor's cat. Your 24 hours are yours to command. And if you master these little things, you will see that success is not about working harder or longer. It's about working smarter, happier, and consistently. And yes, laughing along the way makes it all a lot more fun. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about something very serious. Distractions. Yes, serious, but also hilarious when you think about it. Distractions are everywhere. Your phone, your laptop, your neighbor, that mysterious cat video that pops up when you just wanted to check the weather. Distractions are like little ninjas sneaking into your day, stealing your time while you're busy pretending to be productive. Let me tell you a story. There was a man named Bilal. Bilal had big dreams. He wanted to start his own business, learn new skills, and travel the world. But every day, he would sit down at his desk with full intention, and 2 hours later, he was watching a video about a squirrel riding a skateboard. And he thought, well, this is educational, sort of 2 hours gone. Bilal realized something important. Distractions are sneaky. They are not just about wasting time, they trick you into thinking you're busy while achieving nothing. Now here's a funny truth about procrastination. Procrastination is not about laziness, it's about fear and comfort. People procrastinate because deep down, they know the task will challenge them, push them, or require effort. So their brain says, hey, let's scroll Instagram instead. Or maybe watch 10 cat videos. And just like that, 2 hours vanish. But here's the good news. Once you recognize it, you can fight it. You can train your brain to act even when it doesn't feel like it. And let me tell you, the first step is admitting you are a procrastinator. Yes, proudly, I am a procrastinator. And today, I choose to act anyway. Here's a relatable trick. The 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. Reply to that email, make that quick call, clean that tiny mess on your desk. It's amazing how such tiny actions can prevent mountains of stress from forming later. And the best part? You feel like a superhero because you've actually done something productive instead of scrolling for the 10th time today. Now let's talk about the big scary one. Deep distractions, social media, binge watching, endless news. It's like quicksand. You think just 5 minutes and suddenly you're living through 10 different lives that aren't yours. And the worst part, your goals are waiting, tapping their watch, thinking, hey, when are you coming back? That's why focus is a superpower. And to train focus, you need boundaries. No phone notifications during work, no social media during creative time, and definitely no watching cat videos unless it's your reward after finishing your task. And here's the funny reality. Even when you try to focus, your brain will sabotage you. You'll sit down to work, and suddenly you remember, oh no, I need to check if I locked the door. Did I feed the fish? What's for dinner? Maybe I should reorganize my bookshelf. Our brains are like toddlers with a to-do list. They want attention everywhere at once. So you need discipline like a parent with a toddler. Gently guide your brain and sometimes just firmly say no. Another mental trap is overthinking. People spend hours thinking about what to do instead of doing it. And here's the hilarious part. By the time they decide, the opportunity is gone. Think about it. How many times have you delayed action because you were waiting for the perfect moment? Life doesn't wait for perfect. Life waits for action. Even if you fail, even if it's messy, even if you spill coffee on yourself while trying, at least you moved forward. That's progress. Let's not forget the trap of comparison. My friend is doing this, my cousin is doing that, my neighbor's cat is doing... Wait, is the cat more productive than me? Comparing yourself to others steals your time and confidence. Focus on your 24 hours, not someone else's. Your life is a unique project, and the only competition is yourself yesterday. Beat that, and the rest will follow. Finally, let's make it funny and motivating. Imagine your distractions as little tiny monsters living in your room. Every time you pick up your phone unnecessarily, you feed them. Every time you procrastinate, they grow stronger. But every time you act with focus, every time you finish a task, every time you say no to wasting time, you shrink those monsters. And guess what? One day, they'll be so small, you can stomp on them with your toe while dancing to your favorite song. That's the power of mastering distractions. Ladies and gentlemen, distractions, procrastination, overthinking, comparison, they are all normal, funny, even. But the most successful people don't let them win. They acknowledge them, laugh at them, and then act anyway. That's how you reclaim your 24 hours and turn them into your secret weapon. Remember, time waits for no one. But if you fight for your focus, your energy and your action, suddenly 24 hours feel like an eternity of opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, we've talked about awareness, habits, focus, and fighting distractions. But here's the biggest secret of all: consistency. Consistency is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to do everything at once. But you must do something every single day that moves you closer to your goal. Even if it's tiny, even if it's messy, even if it feels too small to matter, it matters more than you think. Let me tell you a story about my friend Ahmed. Ahmed wanted to write a book, but every day he thought, I'll start tomorrow. For months, nothing happened. Then one day, he decided to write just one paragraph every day. One paragraph. That's it. Nothing fancy. At the end of a year, Ahmed had written an entire book, one paragraph at a time. Imagine if he had waited for the perfect day or perfect mood, he'd still be staring at a blank page. That, my friends, is the power of consistency. And here's something funny: celebrating small wins. Most people only celebrate the big victories. I finally launched my business. I finally got a promotion. But what about the little things? The first time you wake up on time. The first time you finish your task without scrolling your phone. The first time you say no to procrastination. Celebrate it. Treat it like a mini party. Success loves celebration. It tells your brain, yes, this is working. Keep going. Now let's talk about momentum. Momentum is like a snowball rolling down a hill. The first push is the hardest. But once it starts moving, it gets faster and bigger on its own. Your 24 hours are the snow, your habits are the push, and your consistency is the hill. Start small, start imperfect, but start, and soon, you won't need to fight every distraction. You'll be riding the wave of your own momentum, and the funny thing, once momentum kicks in, even your neighbor's cat seems to cheer you on. True story. Here's another truth. Energy is contagious. When you act, you inspire. When you manage your 24 hours, people notice. Your friends, your family, your coworkers, even strangers online. They may not know your whole plan, but they see your energy, your progress, your dedication. And suddenly, people start asking you for advice. That's how leaders are made. Not by waiting, not by wishing, by doing consistently every single day. And let's laugh at the final trap, the I'm too busy excuse. Everyone says it. I don't have time. Really? You had time to scroll Instagram for 2 hours, to binge watch a series, to argue about nonsense, but no time for your dreams? Funny, isn't it? Time is not the problem. Focus is, priorities are, habits are. You always have time for what matters. You just need to claim it. Ladies and gentlemen, your 24 hours are your superpower. Every hour, every minute, every second is a chance to move closer to the life you want. Use them wisely, be aware, build habits, fight distractions, celebrate small wins, and most importantly, be consistent. Because consistency turns ordinary days into extraordinary lives. So, when you leave here today, remember this: your 24 hours are gold. Don't waste them. Don't fear them. Command them, make them work for you. Laugh along the way, fall sometimes, get back up, and every single day, push that snowball a little further. And one day, when you look back, you'll realize you didn't just manage your 24 hours, you mastered them. And that, my friends, is the secret to unstoppable success. And now, if you excuse me, I have 24 hours to manage too. But don't worry, I'll be laughing, making mistakes, celebrating tiny wins, and maybe, just maybe, watching a cat video or two along the way. Because even masters of time need a little fun. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe, my friends. Ladies and gentlemen, let me start with a sentence that might sound crazy, but stay with me. Success is like a Wi-Fi signal. It's everywhere, but most people are standing in the wrong corner of the house. Some people keep complaining. My life has no signal. My dreams are buffering. My goals are loading forever. But when you ask them, did you even try moving closer to the source? They say no, but I restarted the router of excuses 10 times. That's how many people treat success. They want it, they talk about it, they daydream about it, but their mindset is sitting in the basement where no Wi-Fi reaches. Let me tell you something powerful. Before success shows up in your life, it first shows up in your thoughts. If your mind is negative, confused, scared, and always expecting the worst, do you really think success will walk into that environment? Success isn't attracted to stress. Success is attracted to clarity. Think about your own life. Have you ever noticed that when you're in a good mood, confident, focused, feeling unstoppable, opportunities suddenly appear? People respond better. Ideas flow faster. You take better decisions. But when you're frustrated, angry, comparing your life to others, scrolling social media, thinking everyone is ahead except me, suddenly everything feels stuck. Even small tasks feel heavy. Even good opportunities feel suspicious because your energy decides what you attract. Let me give you a simple example from daily life. You ever notice when you wake up excited, even for a silly reason, your entire day moves differently? Maybe you're excited because your salary came, or a parcel is arriving, or you plan to eat pizza. Suddenly the traffic feels lighter, your boss feels nicer, work feels easier. Why? Because the energy in your mind is different. But the day you wake up annoyed, even your shampoo bottle slips and falls like it's also upset at you. This is the law of attraction working in small ways every single day. But here's the funny part. Most people use the law of attraction against themselves. They wake up and say, today is going to be a bad day. Congratulations. The universe listens fast. They say, I know this won't work. Amazing. Your energy just closed the door before opportunity even knocked. They say, I'm so unlucky. No problem. Your mind will make sure you notice everything unlucky. Let me tell you a story. A friend of mine once said, nothing good ever happens to me. You know what happened the same week? He lost his keys, missed his bus, burnt his toast, and even dropped his phone in the sink. Was the universe punishing him? No. His focus was shaping his experience. If you expect chaos, you find more chaos. Now compare that with people like Oprah, Steve Jobs, Shah Rukh Khan, Cristiano Ronaldo. Different fields, different lives, different backgrounds. But one thing in common. Before success came, they believed in it. Not like a fantasy, but like a direction. They were not saying, I hope it works. They were saying, it will work. I just need to reach that version of myself. That is the real law of attraction. Not wishful thinking, but aligning your energy with your actions. And listen, this is not some magical think and it appears nonsense. If thinking alone could bring success, we would all be billionaires with six-packs eating cake on a beach. The truth is, the law of attraction works when your mindset and your habits match. Suddenly doors open that were always there, you just didn't see them before. Your mind is like a magnet. If it's covered in rust, fear, doubt, excuses, nothing sticks. Clean it, sharpen it, direct it, and you'll be shocked how fast things start moving. So today, I want you to start noticing your thoughts. Catch the negative ones like mosquitoes. Don't let them bite your dreams. Replace them with thoughts that elevate you, not imprison you. Most people don't attract success because they're too busy attracting distraction. They wake up with big dreams, but the first thing they touch is their phone. Not their goals, not their intentions, not their mindset, their phone. And the moment they open it, boom, their brain goes from I will conquer the world today to why is everyone living a better life than me? Just imagine. Before your day even starts, you've already lowered your vibration to comparison mode. That's like trying to run a marathon after eating 5 slices of pizza. You can try, but your energy will betray you. The law of attraction responds to what you feed your mind in the first 30 minutes of your day. If you feed it anxiety, you attract anxiety. If you feed it clarity, you attract opportunity. Let me give you an example you'll definitely relate to. You ever notice those days when you wake up determined? I will do everything today. Gym, work, healthy eating, productivity, focus. But then you check one message, one notification, one reel, and suddenly your whole mindset collapses like a biscuit in chai. You go from I am unstoppable to I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow, the most dangerous word in human history. Tomorrow has killed more dreams than failure ever will. Successful people aren't different because they're lucky. They're different because their minds don't live on tomorrow. Their minds live on now. Think about famous people we admire. Elon Musk, J.K. Rowling, Dwayne Johnson, Sarah Blakely. None of them waited for a perfect moment. They created the moment, and they protected their mindset like their life depended on it. Because they knew. You don't attract success by wishing, you attract it by preparing. It's like planting a seed. You don't stare at the soil and say, grow. You water it, you give it sunlight, you give it consistency. The same way, your goals are seeds. Your thoughts are sunlight. Your habits are water. The thing is, most people water their doubts more than their dreams. They tell themselves, what if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? What will people say? What if it doesn't work? Let me tell you something. If you keep feeding your mind these questions, your confidence will shrink smaller than your phone's battery at 1%. But ask stronger questions. What if I succeed? What if I surprise myself? What if this changes my life? What if I'm actually capable of more? Suddenly your energy shifts. Your chest opens, your spirit rises, your brain starts searching for solutions instead of excuses. Your mind listens to the tone you speak to yourself in. If you talk to yourself like a failure, you will attract failure. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you a truth most people ignore. You cannot attract a successful life with unsuccessful habits. You can think positive, you can visualize, you can meditate, but if your actions are sleeping, your dreams will sleep too. This is the part nobody on TikTok will tell you. Because the law of attraction is not just think good things, it's become the kind of person good things want to come to. Think of it like this. If your mind is the engine, your habits are the wheels. Without wheels, even a Ferrari goes nowhere. Let me give you a relatable example. You ever meet someone who talks big? I'll start the gym. I'll start a business. I'll wake up early. But they are eating chips at 1 a.m., watching reels, and calling it research. Their dreams are big, but their lifestyle is small. The universe sees both. Success is attracted to alignment, not daydreaming. And alignment means your thoughts, your words, and your actions are all moving in the same direction. If you want to attract wealth, but you waste money on useless things. If you want to attract opportunities, but you waste time on distractions. If you want to attract discipline, but your bed hasn't seen sunlight since morning, then your energy and your lifestyle are fighting each other. Let me show you something powerful. You ever notice how one productive action creates more productive actions? You clean your table, suddenly you feel like cleaning your whole room. You go for one 10-minute walk, suddenly you drink more water, eat better, and feel better. You finish one small task, suddenly your whole day feels lighter. That's attraction, not magic, momentum. Now look at successful people. The world sees their confidence, but that confidence comes from discipline. You cannot attract confidence if your actions embarrass you. Cristiano Ronaldo isn't confident because he's lucky. He's confident because he trains when others sleep. Shah Rukh Khan isn't iconic because of charm. He's iconic because of consistent, obsessive hard work. People aren't attracted to them only because of talent. They're attracted to their energy, and that energy comes from habits. Now let me bring this to your life. Do your habits attract success or repel it? Be honest. Are you consistent or only motivated on weekends? Do you keep promises to yourself or break them gently? Do you start things or only talk about starting? Because the universe responds to your patterns, not your wishes. If your pattern is procrastination, you'll attract delays. If your pattern is excuses, you'll attract limitations. But if your pattern is effort, you'll attract opportunities. And here's the best part. You don't have to change everything in one day. Just one small disciplined action every day creates more attraction than one big motivational speech. You want success to come closer? Then create a lifestyle success feels comfortable entering. Clean your space. Get your body moving. Protect your time. Choose better people. Talk to yourself with respect. Show your goals that you are serious. Because the law of attraction is simple. You don't get what you want. You get what you prepare for. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go even deeper now. Because this is the part people never talk about when discussing the law of attraction. Your environment, your people, your routine, your lifestyle. All of this attracts or repels success just as much as your thoughts do. You can have the strongest mindset in the world, but if you're surrounded by negativity, by laziness, by noise, by chaos, your energy will get drained faster than your phone on 5% battery. Let me ask you something simple. Have you ever noticed that after talking to some people, you feel tired, and after talking to others, you feel inspired? That's not accidental. That's energy exchange. There are people who make your dreams feel heavy, and there are people who make your dreams feel possible. Now listen closely. If you keep the wrong people close, you will attract the wrong life. Some people will never believe in you, not because you're not capable, but because they don't believe in themselves. They can't imagine success for you, because they can't imagine it for their own life. And if you keep sharing your dreams with people who don't dream, Don't be surprised if your motivation starts shrinking. You can't plant a seed in dry soil and expect it to grow. Now think about your environment. If your room is messy, your mind becomes messy. If your routine is unstable, your results become unstable. If your surroundings are full of noise, your focus disappears. People underestimate how much environment shapes destiny. Let me give you a very real example. Ever tried studying or working in a messy room? Your energy drops. Your brain slows down. You feel irritated for no reason. But if you clean just one corner, one table, your whole motivation suddenly wakes up. That's attraction. Your environment sends signals to your brain. Be productive, be lazy, or be confused. Now let's talk about lifestyle, because this is where success either becomes easy or impossible. If your days are full of late nights, random eating, no structure, no goals, no routines, no discipline, how will your energy become powerful? A successful mindset needs a successful environment to breathe in. You wouldn't expect a plant to grow in darkness, without water, without care. But people expect their goals to grow in unhealthy routines. Now let me give you a famous example. Think about athletes. Think about CEOs. Think about creators who rise from nothing. Their environment is designed for growth. Their rooms, their schedules, their circle, all of it is built to support their ambition. Even if they don't feel motivated every day, their system keeps them moving. Success isn't attracted to random energy. Success is attracted to stable energy, because stability creates momentum, and momentum creates attraction. Let me make this even more relatable. If you hang out with people who complain all day, you'll start complaining. If you hang out with people who gossip, you'll start gossiping. If you hang out with people who think small, your dreams will shrink to fit their comfort zone. But if you surround yourself with people who talk about ideas, goals, growth, discipline, learning, your entire vibration rises. You don't even have to try. Your environment does the work for you. So today, ask yourself, do my surroundings support the life I want or the life I'm trying to escape? Because the law of attraction isn't only activated by the mind, it's activated by the world you build around yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, we've talked about energy, thoughts, habits, and environment. Now let's talk about the final step, recognizing and holding success when it comes to you. Here's the truth most people never admit. Opportunities knock all the time, but most people are too busy scrolling, complaining, or overthinking to hear them. Think about it. A job opening appears. Someone offers collaboration. A random idea pops in your mind. A mentor reaches out. And most people respond with, maybe later. I'm not ready. I'll think about it. The universe has a sense of humor. It whispers, here it is. And we turn around and say, oh, maybe tomorrow. Let me tell you something. The moment you align your mind, your habits, and your environment, your ability to recognize opportunities skyrockets. Opportunities aren't just good luck. They are the natural result of consistent energy and preparation. Think about Elon Musk. Opportunities to buy, build, and innovate came to him. But he had the skills, the persistence, and the preparation to seize them. He didn't wait for luck. He created readiness, so luck had no choice but to find him. Now here's something funny, but relatable. Have you ever noticed that the more prepared you are, the smaller failures feel? You try a new thing, it doesn't work. And instead of quitting, you laugh, learn, and move faster. But if you're unprepared, one small failure feels like the universe just hates you. Success isn't just attracted. It's maintained by your energy, your habits, and your ability to respond. And here's the key. Be brave. Take action immediately when opportunity arrives. Don't wait for perfect timing. Perfect timing is a myth. Action creates timing. And don't be afraid of failure. Most people miss success because they're afraid to stumble. But stumbling is part of the path. Every stumble teaches you, shapes you, and strengthens your energy. Let me give you a relatable real-life example. A friend wanted to start a small YouTube channel. She worried about cameras, editing, topics. Months passed. One day, she just pressed record. The first video failed, the second too. By the fifth video, she found her style. Now she has thousands of followers. The only thing that changed, her willingness to start and keep going. Famous examples: Oprah got rejected 19 times before she got her TV show. J.K. Rowling was turned down by 12 publishers before Harry Potter found a home. They weren't waiting for luck. They were ready, persistent, and open when opportunity arrived. So here's the bottom line for you. Attracting success is like hosting a party. Your mindset is the invitation. Your habits are the decorations. Your environment is the venue, and your actions are the welcome drinks. You cannot attract VIPs if your invitation is messy, your decorations are weak, or you're too scared to open the door. Start thinking like the person who deserves success. Act like the person who can handle it. Create an environment where success feels comfortable. And when opportunity knocks, answer immediately. Because once you do all of this, success doesn't just visit, it stays. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you attract life-changing success through the law of attraction. Not as a dream, but as a reality. You are ready to live every day. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe, my friends. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something uncomfortable. If people don't take you seriously, if they interrupt you mid-sentence, if your ideas get ignored even when they're good, it's not bad luck. It's not confidence. It's the personality habits you repeat every day without noticing. A guy once asked me, how do I improve my personality? I watched him arrive late, interrupt twice, check his phone while someone else was talking. I didn't answer him, because his personality already spoke for him. You can tell a lot about a person in the first 5 minutes, not by what they say, by what they do. They sit down late, they keep adjusting their chair, they laugh too loud at nothing, they check their phone while you're talking. That's not personality traits, that's personality training. Most people don't realize this, but your personality is being shaped every single day, whether you're trying or not. You open your phone before you open your mind. You react before you think. You explain before anyone asks. That's not who you are, that's who you've trained yourself to be. Let me give you an example. You're in a conversation. Someone disagrees with you. Instantly, your tone changes. You start talking faster. You give extra reasons. You want to win. You don't even realize it, but everyone else does. That reaction quietly tells people, I'm insecure under pressure. Now compare that to someone who pauses, smiles, and says, fair point. Let me think. Same situation, completely different personality. Look at someone like Zendaya in interviews. When she doesn't know an answer, she doesn't rush. She pauses. That pause creates respect. Not because she's famous, because she's aware. Awareness is the foundation of personality. So here's the first rule to improve your personality every single day. Notice before you fix. You cannot change what you don't catch. From today, your job is not to be confident. Your job is to observe your reactions. Watch yourself in 3 moments. When you're criticized, when you're ignored, when things don't go your way, those moments reveal everything. You spill coffee during a meeting. Do you freeze, joke awkwardly, or blame the waiter silently? Your reaction shows your personality. See, personality isn't built in comfort. It's revealed in pressure. And the first step is noticing your reaction before it controls you. Another example, someone leaves you unseen. Your mood drops. You reply dry. Later you act distant. That wasn't a decision. That was autopilot. High-level people don't eliminate emotions. They catch them early. Think about Keanu Reeves. People admire his calm, not because he feels nothing, but because he doesn't let emotions drive his behavior. Now let me give you a simple daily system. Every night, 5 minutes, ask yourself, where did I react instead of respond? Where did I stay calm? What reaction embarrassed me a little? That's it. No motivation. No journaling for Instagram. Just awareness. Do this for 7 days and you'll feel exposed. Do it for 30 days and people will treat you differently. Here's something important. If people often call you too sensitive, too quiet, or too aggressive, that's not an attack. That's feedback. Strong personalities collect feedback. Weak ones argue with it. Stop saying, that's just how I am. High-level people say, that reaction was unnecessary. From today, stop trying to look confident. Start trying to be regulated. You know what people remember most. Not your words. Not your fancy degree. Not even your jokes. They remember your energy. Think about it. You meet someone once and can't recall exactly what they said, but you remember they made you laugh. They made you feel seen. Or they drained your energy without even trying. That's presence. That's personality in motion. Let's start small. Here's a scene you know. You're in a meeting, everyone's talking. One person dominates the room. Loud, fast, trying to impress. You're quieter. You pause. You nod. You ask one thoughtful question. Instantly, the room leans in. People listen to you more than the loud one. Why? Because people notice calm confidence more than volume. Here's a simple rule that changes conversations instantly. Listen 70%, talk percent. Sounds simple? It is, but almost nobody does it. Try it today. Next time someone speaks, don't think about your reply. Just listen. Watch their eyes, their hands, the little pauses. Listen. Really listen. You'll notice something shocking. Most people are never fully heard. When you listen, you become rare. Rare is memorable. Memorable is magnetic. Another scene, your friend tells a story. You usually interrupt with your own story, right? Stop. Nod. Ask a smart, small question. Wow. What made you feel that way? Boom. You just upgraded your personality in 5 seconds. Look at someone like Tom Cruise. Not loud. Not boastful. You watch him in interviews. He leans in, listens, responds thoughtfully. That calm presence makes him stand out, not his words. Now let's bring this into everyday life. Your cousin tells a bad joke at dinner. You laugh just a little, not fake, not too loud. Your eyes show interest. That small reaction builds warmth, trust, and presence. Another example, someone challenges your idea online. Instead of typing a long defensive reply, pause. Take 2 breaths. Respond with one clear, calm sentence. Boom. You just demonstrated strength and control. Here's a daily practice to train presence and communication. Every day, pick one conversation. Could be work, family, or even a friend chat. Practice the 70/30 rule. Listen first, speak second. Ask one small, smart question. End the conversation noticing. Did people lean in? Did they smile? Did they remember what you said or how you made them feel? Consistency here is magic. 1 week, and people notice a difference. 1 month, and people remember you. And here's the funny part. Most people spend hours crafting social media captions, but ignore this real-life practice. Personality is felt, not read. Presence is experienced, not explained. Do this. Watch how people lean in when you speak. Watch doors open without trying. Watch how your personality upgrades itself, just from how you show up in conversations. Most people think personality is about charm, humor, or confidence. It's not. Personality shows up when nobody is watching. Let me give you a scene you've definitely been in. Your alarm rings. You hit snooze. Again. You wake up late. You rush. Coffee spills. You're already apologizing to life. Guess what? That little act, hitting snooze, rushing, tells your brain and the world, I don't respect my own time. Self-respect is personality in motion. Another scene. You promise a friend you'll call. You forget. They text you again. You reply with a half-hearted apology. Little by little, people notice. Not loudly, but they notice. Consistency is invisible, but irreplaceable. Here's a modern example. Look at Naomi Osaka. Not the loudest star, not always in interviews, but she's disciplined. She shows up prepared. She respects her craft. She respects her schedule. People admire her because her actions speak louder than any speech. Now, here's the funny truth most people ignore. We spend hours trying to look busy, look disciplined, look successful. Meanwhile, our micro actions betray us. Leaving dishes in the sink, texting while someone is talking, being late. These small things are personality leaks. And fixing them is like plugging holes in a bucket. Water stays in, your personality grows. So how do you build discipline and inner standards? Start with 3 daily rules. Even 5 minutes early counts. Keep small promises. Text back within a reasonable time. Finish a task you said you'd do. Respect yourself in small ways. Make your bed. Put your phone down while eating. Say no when you mean it. Here's a mini example. You've committed to finishing a book by this month. Instead of scrolling TikTok for 2 hours, you read 20 pages every night. 1 week in, you feel smarter, more disciplined, and yes, your personality feels stronger. Another. You see someone struggling at work or school. Instead of ignoring it, you offer help. No one sees it. But trust me, personality points are earned in private. Funny story. I know someone who always brags about being motivated on Instagram. In real life, they show up late, miss deadlines, and complain about everything. Guess what people remember? The real you, not the Instagram you. Discipline is invisible. Respect is quiet. And together, They build a magnetic personality that people notice even when you say nothing. Daily practice. Pick one small promise every day and keep it. Pick one action that shows self-respect, like phone down, clean desk, morning routine. Reflect each night. Did I keep my word today? Did I act in line with my standards? Where did I slip? And how do I fix it tomorrow? These small acts are compounded personality growth. You don't need charisma. You need consistency in private. Remember, strong personalities aren't made in applause. They're forged in quiet, repetitive actions. Confidence isn't loud. Real confidence is quiet. It's calm. It's steady. It's unshakable. Here's the truth nobody tells you. Most people aren't nervous because of the situation. They're nervous because their emotions are driving them, not the other way around. Let me give you a scene you know all too well. You post something online. A comment comes in. Harsh, critical, even rude. Old you? You reply angrily. You scroll through old posts. You overthink. New you? Pause. Breathe. Respond calmly. Or maybe not at all. Notice the difference? That's personality. Or this one. You're at a meeting. Your idea gets rejected. You feel embarrassed. Do you defend it loudly, sulk quietly, or take a deep breath and say, okay, I see, let's revisit this? Same situation, different personality. Here's a modern example. Look at Emma Mackey in interviews. She gets challenging questions. She doesn't panic. She pauses, answers thoughtfully. Calm, composed. That's emotional control. That's confidence. That's personality. Another scenario, someone cuts you off in traffic. Old reaction, horn, shout, frustration. New reaction, breathe, smile, let it go. Small moment, huge personality signal. Here's a daily exercise you can do to train this. The 2-second pause rule. Before reacting, take 2 seconds. Daily reflection. At night, ask, where did I react too fast? Where did I stay calm? What embarrassed me? Small controlled challenges. Wait in line without checking your phone. Let someone else go first in traffic. Handle minor criticism without defending yourself. Every time you practice, you're rewiring your brain. You're teaching it. Calm wins, reaction loses. Here's something funny. The loudest, most reactive person in the room usually feels the weakest inside. The calm, quiet person, they're confident, unshakable, magnetic, and everyone notices it subconsciously. Another example, you mess up at work. A mistake. Old you, panic, stress, guilt. New you, acknowledge it, fix it, learn, move on. People respect that. They trust that. They remember that. Emotional control is like a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger it gets. And with it comes confidence that doesn't need validation, applause, or approval. So, start today. Catch yourself before you react. Take a breath. Count 2 seconds. Ask, does this reaction serve me or does it expose me? Do this consistently. People will start saying, there's something about them, calm, confident, magnetic, and the truth is, they don't even know your story. They just feel your personality. Most people try to change their personality by copying someone else. They mimic phrases, tones, gestures, and fail. Here's the problem. Personality isn't about looking like someone else. It's about becoming someone you respect. Let me give you a scene. You're scrolling Instagram. You see someone successful. Their lifestyle, their charm, their confidence. Old you, try to imitate it. Copy it, force it, feel fake, give up. New you, pause, ask, what habits and environment made them this way? Which of these can I build for myself? Personality isn't copied, it's grown. Here's a modern example. Look at Billie Eilish. She didn't try to sound like anyone else. She built habits, writing, practicing, choosing the right people around her. That shaped her presence, confidence, and uniqueness. Here's the first rule. Your environment shapes your personality more than motivation ever will. Watch the content you consume. Choose friends who lift you, not drain you. Be around people who inspire action, not excuses. Second rule, act like the person you want to become. Want to be calm? Pause before you react. Want to be confident? Speak slowly, listen carefully. Want to be respected? Keep promises, even the small ones. Tiny actions, repeated every day, compound. Personality is a compound interest system. Small deposits today, huge growth tomorrow. Here's a simple daily practice. Pick one habit that reflects your ideal self. Surround yourself with one person, one book, or one space that supports it. Each night, ask, did I act like the person I want to become? Did my environment support me or drain me? What's one adjustment I can make tomorrow? Another scene you'll recognize. You're in a tough meeting. Everyone doubts your idea. Old you, panic, stumble, argue. New you, calmly present, answer questions thoughtfully, nod when others speak. Not because you're trying to impress, because you've built yourself to act this way. Stop chasing approval. Start chasing growth. Personality that lasts isn't flashy. It's consistent, reliable, and magnetic. Here's the final truth. 1% every day. Listen 1% more. Pause 1% longer. Respect 1% more. Observe 1% better. Do this every day for a year. People won't just notice your personality. They'll trust it, follow it, and rely on it. Personality isn't built overnight. It's built quietly, daily, inside the decisions you make, the people you surround yourself with, and the person you choose to become. Start today, and don't wait for anyone to notice. The real reward, you'll respect yourself, and everything else will follow. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe, my friends. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you a shocking truth. By the year 2030, artificial intelligence could replace up to 800 million jobs. 800 million. That's more than the entire population of Europe. Now, here's the twist. At the same time, AI will also create brand new opportunities. Some people will lose everything, while others will become rich. So the real question is not, will AI take jobs? The real question is, will you be the one losing money or making it? Everyone I meet asks me the same thing. Will AI take my job? And I always say, if a robot can do your job better than you, maybe it should. But listen, I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to show you how to grab the opportunity. Because in every crisis, some people are crying and some people are selling tissues. Which one are you? I remember when the internet first came, people were terrified. They said, this is dangerous. Shops will close. Businesses will die. Millions will lose jobs. And yes, they were right, but also wrong. Because while some businesses died, others used the internet and became billionaires. Today, the same thing is happening with AI. Some people are crying and some are already selling tissues. Not paper tissues, digital tissues. Think about Netflix. Once upon a time, Blockbuster was the king. Everyone rented DVDs. You paid late fees. You argued with the cashier. Then Netflix came and said, why don't we use the internet? Boom. Blockbuster died. That's exactly what AI is doing right now. It's the new Netflix moment. Some companies will disappear, but new giants will be born. The question is, will you cry like Blockbuster or adapt like Netflix? Now some people say, but I'm not technical. I don't understand AI. Don't worry. I don't know how to cook either, but I still eat 3 meals a day. You don't need to build AI to benefit from it. You just need to know how to eat the AI meal. Use it to feed your career, your business, your life. Here's the truth. AI is not about replacing humans. It's about replacing humans who refuse to learn. So how do you actually make money in the age of AI? Remember these things. AI is a tool, not a boss. If you let it replace you, that's your choice. But if you use it, you'll work faster, cheaper, smarter. Skills plus AI equals superpower. Don't just learn AI. Combine it with what you already know. If you are a teacher, use AI to make your lessons better. If you are a designer, use AI to create faster. If you are a business person, use AI to reach customers. And here's the final secret. Early movers win. The people who learned email first, they won. The ones who learned social media first, they won. The ones who learn AI first, guess what? They will win. Ladies and gentlemen, don't fear AI. Fear being the person who refuses to adapt. Because technology is not waiting for you. It's running faster and faster every day. So the question is, will you chase it or will you let it leave you behind? And remember this, in the age of AI, money will not go to the strongest or the smartest. Money will go to the fastest learners. Now let's get real. You clicked on this video because of one thing, money. So let's talk about how to actually make money in the age of AI. Not theory, not dreams, real practical ways. First, let me ask you, who here has ever tried freelancing? You know, selling your skills online? Maybe writing, designing, translating, making websites? Guess what? AI has already started doing these jobs. Scary, right? But here's the opportunity. AI is not the worker. AI is your assistant. The people who learn how to use it will do 10 times more work in half the time. Imagine you're a graphic designer. Before you made maybe 2 logos in a day. With AI tools, you can make 20 in a day, then refine the best ones with your creativity. Same skill, same person, but suddenly you earn more because you deliver more faster. Let me give you an example. There was a young man in India who used to do copywriting online. He charged $20 for an article. When AI came, everyone said, "Oh no, your job is finished." But he was smart. He started using AI to generate drafts in seconds, then added his personal style, research, and storytelling. Instead of 1 article a day, he now does 5. His income tripled. Did AI replace him? No. AI promoted him. Here's the key. Don't compete with AI. Partner with it. Think of AI as your unpaid intern who works 24 hours a day, never sleeps, never complains. Most people are scared AI will steal their job. But smart people are already using it to steal more clients. Another big opportunity is business. Today, if you run a small shop, a restaurant, or even sell clothes online, AI can do things for you that used to cost thousands of dollars. AI can design your posters, run your ads, answer customer questions, even suggest what products to sell. You don't need a team of 10 people anymore. 1 person plus AI can run a business that looks like a company of 50. Let me make it funny for you. 20 years ago, if you wanted to start a company, you needed an office, staff, telephones, printers, computers, maybe even a fax machine. Today, with AI, all you need is a laptop and Wi-Fi. You don't even need pants if you work from home. Now let's talk about students. Young people always say, "I don't have money to invest." But you have something more valuable. Time. If you use AI to learn faster, to build projects, to start side hustles, you can turn knowledge into money. Students who understand AI today will graduate not looking for jobs, but creating them. And for those already working a 9-5 job, AI can be your escape. Use it to build side income streams. For example, people are making money by creating ebooks with AI, selling online courses with AI, even starting YouTube channels with AI voice and video tools. If you use AI creatively, it can become your silent business partner. So the real money in the AI age will not come from replacing humans. It will come from humans who know how to multiply themselves using AI. You will not just work harder, you will work smarter, faster, and better. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to remember this line. AI will not take your job, but the person who knows how to use AI will. The opportunity is right in front of you. The only question is, will you grab it now, or will you wait until it's too late? Now that we've talked about making money with AI, let's talk about something even more important. How to make sure you don't lose it tomorrow. Because money without the right mindset disappears faster than Wi-Fi during a power cut. Here's the first mindset shift. Stop thinking AI is competition. AI is not your enemy. Your real enemy is your comfort zone. The day you stop learning is the day AI wins. Think about it. The calculator didn't destroy mathematicians. Photoshop didn't destroy artists. Google didn't destroy teachers. But the people who refused to use them, they disappeared. The second mindset. Focus on creativity, not routine. AI is excellent at repeating tasks. But AI cannot dream like you, laugh like you, or imagine like you. If your job is only pressing buttons, yes, AI will take it. But if your value is imagination, strategy, and relationships, AI becomes your partner. Let me give you an example. Imagine a chef. AI can suggest recipes, even generate pictures of food. But can AI smell the spices? Can it feel the culture of a grandmother's recipe? Can it make you cry with nostalgia when you taste it? No. That is the human touch. So the winners will be people who mix human creativity with AI efficiency. Now, let's talk about skills. In the age of AI, you need 2 kinds of skills: technical skills and human skills. Technical skills mean knowing how to use AI tools even at a basic level. You don't have to be a programmer. Just learn how to prompt, how to edit, how to apply AI in your work. That alone can put you ahead of 90% of people. But human skills are even more powerful. Communication, leadership, storytelling, emotional intelligence. Because while AI can write a speech, it cannot look into someone's eyes and inspire them. That's why you are here listening to me, not a robot. Here's something funny. People say AI will take over the world. Really? Have you seen how bad autocorrect still is? Relax. AI is powerful, but it's not magic. It still needs humans with vision. Without you, AI is just a very smart calculator. And finally, the most important skill, adaptability. The ability to change fast. 10 years ago, nobody thought we'd all be glued to smartphones. 20 years ago, nobody thought we'd be shopping online for groceries. 30 years ago, nobody thought a computer could beat the best chess champion in the world. But here we are. Technology will keep surprising us. The only question is, will you be flexible enough to move with it? Ladies and gentlemen, money will come and go, but adaptability is forever. If you stay curious, stay humble, and keep learning, no AI can ever replace you. Because the future does not belong to machines. The future belongs to humans who know how to use machines. By now you understand the mindset, you understand the skills, but you might be thinking, okay, I get it. But is this really happening? Are people actually making money with AI? Let me tell you, yes, and in ways you might never have imagined. Look at creators and freelancers. 5 years ago, starting a business or content project meant cameras, editors, studios, or big teams. Now AI can generate drafts, design visuals, and even help with planning and research. People who know how to use AI can produce high-quality work faster than ever and earn more. One freelancer I know went from struggling to handling multiple clients in months, just by learning to combine AI tools with their own skills. No fancy team, no big budget, just smart use of technology. Or think about writers. Traditional publishing used to take years. Now AI helps people draft books in days, do research instantly, and polish their writing like a professional editor. One independent writer started using AI to create ebooks. In 6 months, they had more than a dozen books selling online. Their income multiplied without having to leave their home. Businesses too, giants and small companies alike. Take small online stores. AI can help design products, predict trends, manage customer queries, and plan marketing. One small fashion brand in Europe started using AI for marketing and product suggestions. Within a year, their revenue tripled. Imagine that, a one-person team operating like a company of 50, because they learned to use AI. Even industries you wouldn't expect. Art, music, coding. People are leveraging AI to create faster, better, and more profitably. An independent musician used AI to generate background music for projects. Suddenly, clients started paying royalties. Could they have done it alone? Maybe, but it would have taken years. AI sped up the process. And here's the thing. These people aren't super geniuses. They're ordinary humans with ordinary skills who understood one secret. AI is not a replacement. It's a force multiplier. They didn't wait. They didn't complain. They adapted. Now you might be wondering, can I do this too? Absolutely. The difference between someone struggling and someone thriving in the AI age is simple: action. You can read about AI, think about it, and still stay behind. Or you can take one small step today, learn one tool, create one project, reach one client, and start multiplying yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, the future is not coming. The future is here. And the people winning right now are not those who are scared. They are those who saw AI, smiled, and said, I will use this to my advantage. Now, you've learned the mindset, you've seen the skills, you've witnessed examples of people using AI to transform their lives. But the most important question is this: what will you do with it? The truth is, opportunity is everywhere, but it doesn't wait. AI is fast, technology is fast, and the world rewards the bold, the curious, the ones willing to take action before everyone else. The people who hesitate will watch the future happen from the sidelines. The people who act will shape it. Imagine a world where machines can do almost anything. Write, calculate, predict, design. Sounds scary, right? But here's the secret. Machines don't have courage, creativity, or imagination. They don't dream. They don't take risks. They don't push boundaries. You do. And that is your superpower. History has shown us this again and again. When the printing press arrived, some scribes cried. Others became richer than kings. When electricity came, some feared it. Others built empires. Today, AI is just another tool, the most powerful one we've ever had. But the people who succeed will not be the ones who wait. They will be the ones who move, experiment, and dare. Here's the funny part. People worry AI will be smarter than humans. Really? Have you seen autocorrect? Machines are powerful, but they are not visionary. They need humans to lead, to imagine, to create. Without you, AI is just a very smart assistant, not a master of your destiny. So here is my challenge to you. Stop waiting. Stop fearing. Stop thinking someone will hand you a chance. Create it. Learn. Fail. Adapt. Multiply yourself. Because in this age, the fastest learners, the most adaptable, the most courageous will inherit the world. And remember this line every day. AI will not take my future. I will use it to multiply myself. Repeat it. Believe it. Live it. Because the only limits in the age of AI are the limits you place on yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, the future is here. It is waiting for those bold enough to seize it. Will that be you? Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe, my friends. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what's funny? Everyone says, I want to change my life. But when life says, okay, give up something first, they say, wait, not that. We all want transformation without inconvenience. We want success without sacrifice. But life doesn't work like that. Life is like a mirror. It doesn't smile unless you do first. So today, I'll tell you 6 sacrifices you must make if you really want to change your life, the real ones. The ones nobody posts on Instagram, but everyone has to face. Let's start with the first one. And this one, my friends, is something everyone in this room, including me, has been guilty of. You open your phone to check one thing, and somehow you wake up in another dimension. It's been 45 minutes, you've watched a dog learning to dance, a guy making a $200 sandwich, and someone crying about their breakup like it's a movie. And then you say, I don't have time. Let's be honest. It's not that we don't have time, it's that we've sold our time cheap. You scroll in bed the moment you wake up. You scroll while eating. You scroll in the washroom. You scroll when you say, I'll sleep early tonight. You've literally turned your thumb into an athlete. It's training harder than you are. Every scroll gives you a small hit of pleasure. That's why you keep going. It feels harmless. I'm just relaxing. But you're not relaxing. You're escaping. Escaping from doing the hard things that could actually change your life. Think about it. You scroll past someone showing their new car, their business, their body transformation, and you think, how do they do it? They're not smarter than you. They just stopped watching and started building. Let's take someone like Mr. Beast. You know what he said? For years he obsessed over YouTube, studying thumbnails, editing, titles. While everyone else was watching Netflix, he was learning what keeps people watching. He didn't scroll for fun. He scrolled to study. That's the difference between people who use their phone to consume and people who use it to create. Be honest. How many times have you said, I'll just check Instagram for 5 minutes? Then you blink and it's been 2 hours and you're watching a cooking video even though you just ate. Or worse, you're watching motivational reels while lying in bed, nodding like, yes, I'll change my life. Then scrolling to the next one instead of actually changing it. We've all done it. But here's the truth. Every scroll is a small sacrifice of your focus, and focus is your real currency. If you sacrifice your focus every day, you're selling your future for small doses of comfort. You don't lose your dreams all at once. You lose them scroll by scroll, one distraction at a time. You know why your ideas die halfway? Because every time you're about to start, your brain says, let's just check what's trending first. You know what's trending? Other people's progress. While yours is still buffering. Imagine if you use the same energy you spend scrolling to build something, a skill, a business, a body, a mindset. Imagine where you'd be 6 months from now. That's the first real sacrifice successful people make. They sacrifice consuming the world to create their own world. You can't build your dream if your thumb never stops moving. So from today, every time you feel that urge to scroll, ask yourself, am I escaping or evolving? Because in the end, your future is hiding behind that one moment of self-control. And that is the first sacrifice. Stop scrolling, start building. Ladies and gentlemen, the second sacrifice is a tough one. Because it's not about things, it's about people. You see, when you decide to change your life, life also decides to change your circle. At first, it feels lonely. You start saying no to random hangouts, and suddenly you're boring. You start focusing on your goals, and they say you've changed. Of course you've changed. That's the point. Let me ask you something. How many weekends have you wasted because your friends said, come on bro, it's just one night. But that one night happens every weekend. You tell them, I have work tomorrow, and they say you're always working. But when you're broke, no one says you're always broke. Funny, right? We all have those friends. The ones who never talk about ideas, only gossip. The ones who complain about their boss, but never try to become the boss. The ones who keep saying, next year will be my year, and it's been next year for the last 5 years. You love them? Yes, but they're not going where you're going. It's like trying to run a marathon with people who only want to walk to the corner store. They'll tell you to slow down not because you're wrong, but because your speed reminds them how slow they're moving. Think about it. If you hang out with 5 unmotivated people, you'll soon become the 6th. If you hang out with 5 winners, you'll start thinking, speaking, and acting like one. Let me give you a modern example. When Elon Musk was starting out, do you think he was hanging out every night chilling and complaining? No. He surrounded himself with engineers, builders, problem solvers, people who spoke the language of ambition. Meanwhile, most people today surround themselves with Netflix, memes, and people who say, bro, chill, life's too short to stress. No, life's too short to waste. You have to understand this. Sometimes the biggest upgrade isn't a new job or a new car. It's a new environment. You don't need to cut people off. Just outgrow them. Let your silence and progress be the distance. And yes, it hurts. You'll have nights where you feel left out. But that's okay. Because being misunderstood while building is better than being popular while going nowhere. When you start to level up, your old circle will say, you've changed. Just smile and say, I was supposed to. So the second sacrifice is this. Sacrifice hanging out for leveling up. Because you can't fly if you keep holding hands with people who refuse to leave the ground. And when you finally do, you'll meet a new circle. One that pushes you, inspires you, and speaks your future's language. Ladies and gentlemen, the third sacrifice you must make is comfort. Yeah, that soft, warm, dangerous blanket called I'll do it tomorrow. You see, comfort is sneaky. It doesn't shout, I'll destroy your dreams. It whispers, you deserve a break. You tell yourself, I'll start waking up early. The alarm rings and your bed says, bro, let's talk about this. And you agree, like it's a business meeting. We all do it. You say, I'll go to the gym today. Then your brain goes, or we could scroll, watch one episode, maybe learn about that random guy who built a house on a mountain. One episode becomes 3, and now you're doing bicep curls with your remote control. But here's the truth. Nothing grows in comfort. Not your muscles, not your money, not your mindset. The people you admire, the ones who look like they got lucky, they didn't. They just kept showing up when it wasn't fun anymore. Do you think Cristiano Ronaldo feels like training every day? No. But he does it because he knows discipline is expensive, but regret costs more. Let's talk about something everyone does. The Monday start. I'll start next Monday. Bro, how many Mondays do you need? If you had started the first Monday you said that, you'd be unrecognizable by now. The real enemy isn't failure. It's almost doing it, almost starting the business, almost going to the gym, almost changing your life. You can't microwave success, but people try. They want results in 3 days for something that takes 3 years. Success isn't built in comfort. It's built in boring, consistent, daily effort. You won't always be motivated, but you can always be consistent. Think of comfort like junk food. Feels good now, kills you slowly later. Consistency is like healthy food. Boring at first, but it changes your whole life if you stick to it. So the third sacrifice is this. Sacrifice comfort for consistency. Because comfort is the enemy of progress. You can't grow if you keep choosing what feels easy over what feels right. And if you ever doubt that, remember this. The people you admire are not superhuman. They just built the habit of showing up when most people were sleeping in. So when your mind says, just relax, say back, no, I've relaxed enough. Because your dream is waiting and it won't chase you back. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the fourth sacrifice, one that silently kills more dreams than failure ever could. It's the need for validation. You see, too many people don't live their dreams because they're too busy trying to look successful instead of becoming successful. Today, people don't chase purpose, they chase approval. You go to the gym, not to be healthy, but to post a mirror selfie. You start a business, not to create, but to say, look at me, I'm an entrepreneur. You read one book, and suddenly your bio says, bookworm, growth mindset, hustle vibes. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with sharing your journey, but there's a difference between sharing progress and performing progress. The world today is obsessed with applause, but applause doesn't pay your bills. Likes don't build empires. Comments don't create confidence. Real confidence comes when you're doing the work in silence, when nobody is watching, when nobody cares. You know why most people stop halfway? Because they don't get enough likes. They start something amazing, but the moment no one claps, they quit. Let me tell you something. The people laughing at your dreams today will be the same ones asking for advice tomorrow. Think about Steve Jobs. When he dropped out of college, everyone thought he was crazy. When he launched Apple, they called it a toy company. Now those same people stand in line every year for his toys. Or look at Taylor Swift. When she was starting out, critics said she'd never last. She didn't chase validation. She chased evolution. And that's why she's still on top. You can't please everyone and build something great at the same time. At some point, you must choose your vision or their opinion. Here's a truth most people won't tell you. The moment you stop caring what people think, you become dangerous. Because now you move for you, not for applause. And that's when you truly grow. If you always need someone to clap for you, you'll never move when they stop clapping. So the fourth sacrifice is this. Sacrifice validation for vision. Because your dreams don't need to be liked. They need to be lived. Every minute you spend proving yourself, you could have spent improving yourself. And when you finally understand that, you'll realize silence is the loudest flex. Ladies and gentlemen, the fifth sacrifice is one most people never even realize they need to make. It's not money. It's not time. It's your old identity. You can't become the new you while defending the old you. So many people say, this is just who I am. No, that's who you decided to be years ago. And that version might have been built on fear, insecurity, or survival. But now, that version is holding you back. You see, growth isn't about adding more things to your life. It's about letting go of what no longer fits. Think about it. You can't download new apps on a phone full of junk. You gotta delete old files. Same with life. You can't install Success 2.0 if your mindset still runs on Excuses 1.0. And yet people defend their old selves like it's a family heirloom. I've always been lazy. I'm just not confident. I'm not that kind of person. Yeah, that's the problem. You keep saying it like it's your zodiac sign. Let's be real. You weren't born lazy or unmotivated. Life taught you that behavior. And if life taught it, you can unlearn it. Look at Robert Downey Jr. He went from being known as that troubled actor to Iron Man. He didn't let his past define his future. He rebuilt it. Or think about Jennifer Lopez. People told her she couldn't sing, couldn't act, couldn't dance. Now she does all three better than most people do one. She didn't stay the version others decided for her. She became who she decided to be. But here's the catch. Becoming your next level requires killing your last level. That means breaking habits, mindsets, and labels that once felt safe. You might outgrow your nickname, your comfort zone, even the opinions of people who knew you back then. That's okay. Because if people only respect the version of you that stays small, they were never meant to see you big. Growth feels uncomfortable because it threatens your old identity. The same way a snake must shed its skin, you must shed your past self. It's painful, yes, but staying stuck is worse. So the fifth sacrifice is this. Sacrifice who you were for who you can become. Because the old you got you this far, but the new you will take you further. Every time you say, that's just how I am, you build a wall between who you are and who you could be. Tear that wall down. You're allowed to reinvent yourself again and again. And remember, you're not betraying your past by growing. You're honoring it by not staying there. Ladies and gentlemen, the sixth and final sacrifice is the hardest one of all because it goes against everything this generation has been taught. It's the sacrifice of instant results for long-term growth. You see, we live in a world where everyone wants things now. Fast food, fast money, fast fame. People want six-pack abs in 6 days, a business that makes millions in a month, and peace of mind by watching a 15-second reel. But here's the truth. You can't grow roots in microwave time. Anything that grows too fast collapses just as fast. You scroll online and see someone post, made $10,000 in 1 week, and you think, what am I doing wrong? But you didn't see the 10 years of failure, stress, and sleepless nights before that 1 week. Everyone shows the trophy. No one shows the training. We live in a highlight reel world, and that's why patience feels outdated. But let me tell you something. The most dangerous thing you can do is quit just because it's not happening fast enough. Consistency is boring. Discipline is lonely. But quitting, that's permanent. You plant the seed and check every day if it's growing. You can't see anything, so you give up. But underground, the roots were forming, and you walked away right before the bloom. That's how most people lose in life. Not because they weren't capable, but because they were impatient. Look at Warren Buffett. 80% of his wealth came after he turned 50. He didn't rush. He compounded. Or look at Morgan Freeman. He didn't get his first big movie role until he was 52. Now his voice alone is worth millions. So many people today would have quit before that age because they didn't see results fast enough. We're the only generation that gives up on a dream if it doesn't go viral in 30 days. But listen, greatness takes time. Real success is built in silence, in seasons of waiting, in days when nothing seems to be working. The longer it takes, the stronger the foundation. So the sixth sacrifice is this. Sacrifice instant results for long-term growth. Because slow success builds character. Fast success builds ego. And ego collapses, but character endures. Every day you stay patient. You're not wasting time, you're building time. You're compounding wisdom, strength, and resilience. And when your time finally comes, it won't be luck. It'll be proof that you didn't give up when everyone else did. You want to change your life? You'll have to make 6 sacrifices. Your scrolling, your circle, your comfort, your validation, your past identity, and your need for instant results. They sound painful, and they are, but so is staying the same. Because the truth is, you don't get to choose whether life will be hard. You only choose which kind of hard. The hard of discipline or the hard of regret. So choose wisely, because your future is being built. One sacrifice at a time. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe, my friends. Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something honestly. How many of you want success? Now let me ask a more dangerous question. How many of you want success without changing anything? That's where the problem starts. We live in a world where food arrives in 5 minutes, messages deliver in 1 second, and people expect success by next month. Everyone wants a big life, big money, big respect, but with small effort and zero patience. Let me tell you something real. Success is not free. It is not motivation. It is not luck. Success is a contract. And today, I'm going to tell you the 7 things success demands from you. If you accept them, success signs the deal. If you don't, it walks away quietly. Let's start with the first demand, the one most people fail before they even begin. Success demands that you think long-term in a world addicted to short-term rewards. Most people don't fail because they're not smart. They fail because they are in a hurry. They want profit in 3 months. They want mastery in 2 weeks. They want respect before results. They watch one podcast, read 2 quotes, and suddenly think, yes, now I'm ready. You've seen this before. Someone joins the gym on Monday, takes selfies on Tuesday, disappears by Friday, and then says, the gym doesn't work. No, the gym works. You didn't. Success works the same way. People start learning a skill, practice for 10 days, get confused once, fail once, and immediately say, this is not for me. But let me ask you, did you really think your future would change in 10 days? Big things grow slowly. Bamboo stays underground for years before you see anything. And when it finally shows up, it grows fast. People celebrate the growth, but nobody talks about the waiting. That waiting is the price. Melanie Perkins, the CEO of Canva, was rejected over 100 times when she pitched Canva. Investors told her the idea was too simple, too late, too unrealistic. She didn't argue. She didn't rush. She kept improving quietly for years. Today, millions use Canva daily, but nobody remembers the waiting years. Reed Hastings didn't build Netflix overnight. For years, people laughed at the idea of mailing DVDs. Later, they laughed at streaming. He didn't chase trends. He waited, learned, adapted, and stayed long-term, while others focused on short-term profits. Successful people ask, how long can I survive without quitting? Long-term thinking is lonely. When you choose it, people don't clap for you. Results don't show up quickly. Progress feels slow and boring. Short-term thinkers get attention early. Long-term thinkers get freedom later. Your friends will say, why are you working so hard? Relax. They don't see the skills you're building. They don't see the discipline you're developing. They don't see the future you're preparing for. If your life looks boring right now, your future will look exciting. If your life looks exciting right now, your future will start asking uncomfortable questions. Success looks at you and asks, can you wait? Can you work without praise? Can you believe before you see results? If your answer is yes, you may continue, because success doesn't reward speed, it rewards endurance. And this was only the first demand. Let's talk about the second demand. This one makes people uncomfortable, because it removes their favorite hobby. Blaming. Success demands responsibility. Most people don't fail because life is hard. Life has always been hard. They fail because blaming feels better than fixing. When something goes right, we say, I worked hard. When something goes wrong, we say, the system is broken. Very convenient. You miss a deadline. My internet was bad. You don't wake up early. I'm not a morning person. You don't make progress. This year is unlucky. Even your alarm clock has suffered because of this mindset. You set it and then blame it. Let me be honest. Blame is comfortable. Responsibility is painful, because blame protects your ego. Responsibility forces you to change. You see this everywhere. Someone fails an exam and says, the teacher hates me. Someone gains weight and says, my metabolism is slow. Someone isn't successful and says, people like us don't get chances. Maybe some of that is true. But success doesn't ask who is guilty. It asks who is responsible. Look at Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft. When he took over, Microsoft was already a giant, but falling behind. Instead of blaming the past, the market, or competitors, he said, this is on us. He changed the culture, pushed learning, and took responsibility for a company everyone thought was already finished. Or look at Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Before movies, before fame, he was cut from professional football. He could have said bad luck. Instead, he took full responsibility for rebuilding himself physically, mentally, professionally. That mindset built everything you see today. Responsibility doesn't mean life is fair. It means you stop waiting for life to be fair. Here's the funny truth. People say, I don't have time, but they somehow finish entire seasons of Netflix shows. People say, I don't have money, but they always have money for things that don't change their future. Responsibility is when you stop lying to yourself politely. It's when you stop saying one day and start saying day one. The moment you accept responsibility, you stop waiting for support. You stop waiting for motivation. You stop waiting for someone to save you. You start working with what you have, where you are, and something strange happens. You feel lighter, because blaming others is heavy. You carry anger, excuses, and frustration everywhere. Responsibility drops that weight. Success looks at you and asks, are you strong enough to say, this is my problem, and that means it's also my power? Because the day you accept responsibility, excuses stop being your shield and start being your prison. The third demand is something most people ignore until it's too late. Success demands that you learn faster than life changes, not smarter than others, not luckier than others, faster. Most people think learning is sitting in a class, reading a book, or watching a video once. That's cute. But life doesn't wait. Let me give you a funny truth. You scroll Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and you think, I'm keeping up with the world. No, you're just wasting time looking at other people living, while your skills stay the same. Learning fast is about doing, failing, adjusting, and doing again, all before your competition even realizes the game has started. Look at Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon. Everyone thought online shopping was a fad. He learned quickly, tested fast, and adjusted the business model constantly. Today, Amazon dominates because he didn't wait to feel ready. He adapted before the world told him to. Or look at Rihanna. She didn't just sing, she learned business, branding, fashion, beauty. She didn't wait to become a singer and then think about money. She learned fast, expanded fast, adapted, and today she's not just a singer, she's a billionaire entrepreneur. Most people say, I don't have time to learn something new, but somehow they spend 3 hours a day arguing online or watching memes. Think about it. Every hour you waste not learning is an hour your competition uses to get ahead. Here's something relatable. You try to learn a new skill, maybe coding, maybe editing videos, maybe learning a language. You mess up once and immediately think, this isn't for me. No, that's exactly what life is testing, your speed to learn and adapt. Even small, funny examples are proof. You download a new app and struggle to use it at first. Most people give up. But the person who learns quickly, they figure out shortcuts, tricks, hidden tools. They get ahead while everyone else is still complaining. That's exactly what success wants from you. Life doesn't wait until you're comfortable. Life doesn't wait until you feel ready. Life changes every day. If you can't learn fast, you'll be left behind. Here's the mentor truth. Intelligence is overrated. Speed of learning is everything. You can be less talented than others, but if you learn faster than everyone else, you'll be the one shaping the future. So ask yourself, am I learning fast enough? Am I adapting fast enough? Because the moment you stop learning, life passes you by, and it won't wait for apologies. The fourth demand is one of the hardest. And the moment you accept it, you realize most people will never understand you. Success demands that you are comfortable being misunderstood. Most people quit because someone laughed at them, or someone doubted them, or someone said, you'll never make it. Let me tell you a secret. The people who laugh at your dream today are the same people who will be amazed at your success tomorrow. And yes, they will try to act like they always knew it would happen. Funny, isn't it? Think about Elon Musk. Everyone called him crazy for starting Tesla, for launching rockets with SpaceX, for tweeting whatever he wanted. People said, this will fail. He's ridiculous. Today, Tesla and SpaceX are reshaping the world, and those same critics are suddenly fans. Or J.K. Rowling. She was rejected by dozens of publishers. People laughed at a single mother writing a fantasy story nobody wanted to read. Today, she's one of the most successful authors in history. And all those people who laughed, they wish they had the courage to start something themselves. Here's the funny, relatable truth. You try something new, maybe starting a YouTube channel, maybe learning guitar, maybe pitching an idea, and someone says, why are you wasting your time? Your first instinct? Feel embarrassed. Your second instinct? Maybe quit. Don't. That embarrassment is proof you're ahead of them. Even in small life examples, it happens. You start waking up early to work on yourself. Your friends text at 1 a.m. What are you doing awake so early? You feel awkward. They don't understand the hours you're putting in. They think it's weird. Being misunderstood is part of the price. It's lonely at first, but that loneliness is the space where your skills grow. Your mindset grows, your patience grows, and the funniest part, once people see your results, they suddenly understand you. They just don't remember the early days when you were mocked. Success doesn't reward popularity. It rewards vision. And vision looks weird before it's recognized. So ask yourself, can you be laughed at today so that you can be celebrated tomorrow? Can you keep walking forward even when nobody gets it? Because the moment you accept being misunderstood, you stop asking for permission. You stop looking for approval. And that freedom is priceless. The fifth demand is where most people fail silently without anyone noticing. Success demands discipline on boring days. Most people think success comes when they feel motivated. But motivation is like Wi-Fi. It comes and goes and usually disappears when you need it most. Let me give you a relatable example. You wake up at 6 a.m. determined to work on your dream. The first day, you're excited. You feel like a superhero. By day 3, your bed suddenly feels like a 5-star resort. By day 7, Netflix seems like the universe's greatest invention, and your dream looks optional. Discipline is showing up even when your bed, your phone, and your favorite snacks are all plotting against you. Look at Serena Williams. She didn't become one of the greatest tennis players by playing only when she felt like it. She trained hours every day, even when tired, even when bored, even when injured. While others were partying, she was disciplined. That consistency built greatness. Or Lionel Messi. Messi didn't just have talent. He disciplined himself from a young age. Every day, every practice, every dribble mattered. Talent alone couldn't have won him the World Cup. Discipline did. Here's the funny, relatable truth. Your version of discipline might be washing dishes while imagining your dream, practicing a skill while everyone else scrolls, writing a paragraph while your friends are asleep, and feeling bored as hell. And guess what? That boredom is your gold mine. That is where winners are built. While everyone is waiting for motivation to strike, you are quietly becoming unstoppable. Most people fail not because they can't, but because they quit on boring days. And the world never applauds boring days. Nobody posts Instagram stories about discipline. Nobody tweets, "Look at me, I rewrote my code at 2 a.m." But those boring days are what make the difference between someone who dreams and someone who succeeds. Discipline doesn't feel glamorous. It feels awkward, lonely, and sometimes painful. But the results? They are undeniable. Ask yourself, can I do the work when nobody is watching? Can I show up when I feel tired, distracted, or tempted to quit? Because if you can, you're not just chasing success, you're building a habit that success can't ignore. And this was the fifth demand. The sixth demand is one of the hardest because it asks you to say no to instant pleasure while the world screams yes, have it now. Success demands that you delay comfort. Most people fail because they want life to feel easy today. They want the phone in hand, Netflix on, snacks within reach, and no stress at all. But success doesn't work that way. Let me make this funny and relatable. You sit down to work on your dream. 5 minutes in, your phone buzzes. You check it. 10 minutes later, you're scrolling TikTok, watching someone else's dream unfold. Your brain says, it's okay, you'll do it tomorrow. And tomorrow has the same problem. Delaying comfort is saying no, not now. I'll play later. I'll relax later. I'll enjoy later. And it hurts because humans are wired for instant pleasure. Look at Oprah Winfrey. She didn't become a billionaire and media mogul by taking the easy route. She sacrificed early comfort, long hours, rejection, moving to different cities, building her career from scratch. She delayed comfort, and today she has freedom most people only dream of. Look at Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Meta. He didn't become a billionaire by binge-watching TV or partying all night. He coded, learned, and delayed comfort while everyone else was living easy. That early sacrifice gave him freedom later. Here's the funny, relatable truth. You're scrolling social media while your dream waits in the corner, dusty and ignored. That's your instant comfort killing your future. Delaying comfort is uncomfortable. It's lonely. Your friends will laugh. Your brain will complain. Even your bed will try to trap you. But those are the moments where winners are created quietly. Most people think they're working hard, but if you can't delay comfort, you're not building anything permanent. You're just rearranging temporary effort into temporary results. Ask yourself, can I skip a few pleasures today to win a lifetime of freedom tomorrow? Can I say no to Netflix tonight, to unnecessary scrolling, to excuses, to the easy way? Because delaying comfort isn't about pain. It's about freedom, and freedom waits for no one. The seventh and final demand is the hardest. Success demands that you stay humble while winning. Most people think success is about climbing a mountain and then shouting, "Look at me." Funny truth, the moment you start showing off, life sends you a reminder, usually in the form of failure. Even small, relatable examples. You get a promotion, and suddenly you start acting like the office owns you. You forget the late nights, the mistakes, the boring tasks nobody noticed. That's exactly where humility is tested. Let me give you a globally recognizable example. Barack Obama. He became president of the United States, one of the most powerful positions in the world. Yet he stayed humble, joked with staff, listened, and kept learning. He didn't let applause or titles change who he was. That humility made him effective and respected worldwide. Or Beyoncé. She's arguably one of the greatest performers of our time. She could rest on fame, fortune, and superstardom. But she keeps rehearsing, keeps pushing herself, keeps refining her craft, all while the world adores her. She wins. And yet she continues working silently, letting results speak louder than words. Here's the funny truth. Humility doesn't feel glamorous. Nobody makes memes about humility. Nobody posts Instagram stories showing, "Look at me staying humble." But humility is like the invisible glue that holds success together. Without it, achievements crumble, relationships strain, and your growth stalls. And this is something most people never realize. They chase power, recognition, applause, and forget the core rule. The taller the tree, the deeper the roots. Even in small, relatable life examples, you get a compliment on your work, and your first instinct is to boast. Or someone praises your cooking, and you start giving a long lecture about why it's better than the last time you cooked. That's ego creeping in. Success quietly slips away in those moments. The moment you stay grounded while winning, you stop being a prisoner of praise. You stop needing approval. You stop letting applause dictate your worth. That's when you're truly free. So ask yourself, can I win big and still stay humble? Can I achieve what everyone admires and still keep learning, improving, and serving quietly? Because humility is the last piece of the contract. Without it, the rest of the demands, patience, responsibility, learning, being misunderstood, discipline, delaying comfort, lose their power. And now you know all 7 demands. Think of them like a ladder. Think long term. Take responsibility, learn fast, accept being misunderstood, stay disciplined, delay comfort, stay humble. No shortcuts, no excuses, no magic formula. Just a simple, brutal truth. Success is earned by those willing to pay the price in all 7 ways. If you're ready to stop making excuses, stop chasing shortcuts, and start living the kind of life you dream of, then remember these 7 demands. They are not easy. They are uncomfortable. They are lonely. But they are the only way. Success isn't out there waiting for you. Success is a contract, and today, you know the price. Thank you for listening. And don't forget to like and subscribe, my friends.